Scots College, Wellington, New Zealand. Owen Ford, referee, Hong Kong. In that situation, I think what you could do is actually move back with the ball as well, rather than just stay at the halfway line, so that you're level with the last man's feet of that scrum, and then you can clear out of the way as appropriate, depending on what they do. And in that situation, when that ball was passed back to right in front of the goalpost, a good thing to do is actually to start getting your body momentum going towards the pass. So if that was dropped, or if the kick was charged down, you were halfway towards that ball, and therefore able to make a much better decision on whatever subsequently happens. You just stuck your arms out to each side, Owen. I don't know what that signal is. Got my law book here. I'm just scanned through it, and I can't find that signal in the law book, so I'm just wondering what that means. Good to see you running backwards through that line out, keeping an eye on the thrower that whole time. That's good. But if you looked at your body orientation at that throw, you're looking straight down the line rather than looking at the blue back line or the white back line. So if you actually stand sideways on like you are doing right now at this ruck and maul, then your vision is so much better in terms of scanning defenders. Well, there's that flinging of the arms up again. In Wellington, people who do that owe me a chocolate fish every time they do, because unless they can find that in the law book somewhere, it's obviously not in the game. So I say, well, if that's a signal that you've made up, are there any other signals that you've made up that I need to know about as well? Very flippantly, I also say, so if you're making up signals, are there any laws that you're making up, or any laws you're ignoring? Very flippantly, he says once again. So good positioning there at that last situation, and then running straight towards the goal line and then across was all good. Well done. So in that situation, running from the kick-off there, Owen, you can actually run with a bit more urgency, try and get back and down towards where the ball's going to land just a little bit quicker, even if you just run straight ahead and then come across. It just looks good for a referee to be doing that rather than just jogging up. Good looking at that defending white back line. You know, you're looking right, facing right at them, looking right at them. They knew and they stayed back, so that's very good. So I don't know if I picked that up very well, but going into the D line early typically means that a referee cannot see outside backs, and that certainly showed up then with the white outside backs being up offside, but there was no implication on the game because the ball obviously never went out the back line. But for you and for moving up the grades, you're better off, I believe, to just hold a bit more onto the attacking side with a little bit of depth and then wait until the ball comes out and then flatten into the D line if you need to as the ball becomes clearing, as the ball clears, I should say.
Right here, making sure we get all the wind.
So in that situation, I'd like to be in the scrum as well and just hear what you were saying to the front rows. Obviously that scrum screwed around. So once again, as I said, I'd be interested to hear what your conversation was to the teams in terms of wanting them to stay square and driving straight forward. Maybe that's what you are saying. Hopefully that is. And maybe that's what you did say, because that scrum was a good one. They stayed square and it all went well.
Didn't get the humour in that one,
So if you looked at that line out, I mean standing at the back there and what we call maybe the train track, just right down the middle, is an okay position, but you're looking down the line without your body orientation looking at the white back line. It was a two-handed take, but delivered off the top very, very quickly. If you had been side on, looking at the defenders and looking down the line, or perhaps even being around a bit more at 7, 8, or even at 8 on the attacking side, you could have very easily controlled things if it had been a two-handed take. So maybe something to think about. You might even have a play around with it sometimes. See what you think. So there, good control of the blue back line. Saw you pointing, so that was all good. So just once again, look at your body orientation. You're not looking at the blue back line at all, or even at the white back line. So did the blue back line actually move up well inside the 5 before the ball came out, or what happened there? So particularly at games, club rugby games, where you don't have any communication and you have to be controlling everything, it's all about body orientation. That can make things so much easier for you. If you're orientated up and down the paddock, looking sideways into phases, into the scrums, into the rucks, into the mauls, that means it's very easy for you to be able to readily scan defenders. So there we are, so you're just jogging back. If you actually sprint, that makes you look really good. Often refereeing, particularly at club level once again, is all about perception. If players look like, have got confidence in you, coaches and managers have, because you look like a referee, you run like a referee, you sprint around, you've got good whistle, etc. It all adds up to really good pictures. See there how, because you got into the D-line too quickly, you had to get away in front of the play in behind the blue players, and then had to come back. That's just fine-tuning for you around your position. You could have been perhaps a little bit wider on the attacking side, getting out towards 2. Oh, there we go again, another chocolate fish for me. So once again, my impression there is the outside white backs were up offside, because you're in more of a closed off position, perhaps getting in a bit too close to the ruck maul, where you may have been able to come out a bit wider as you could see the ball coming back, and getting side on, and then being able to look at the defending backs so much more readily. So that's just a learning technique. So there, look, that last face on that last ruck, good control. I saw you pointing at the back line. Definitely the sort of 10 and second 5/8 in particular. And it looked like you had good vision of out wide as well. So there again, you could see that in your position you had to go backwards in behind the blue back line to get out of the way. But that's just fine-tuning stuff. So. So here what I'm a little bit worried about, Owen, is if blue were to go to the front of the line out and drive to the front, you being 5 metres off the end of the line out, you can end up getting a long way away. Whereas if you were at 7, 8 in the line out, or even at 8 on the defending side, you'd readily be able to get into the corner very quickly. Or if it was just passed back as it was and kicked out, you're fine, you can see everything. Or if the blue team had won and spun it wide, you'd have been readily be able to get across, ball in line or into goal very quickly. So that's just something to consider. Have a talk with your personal coach back home and see what you think. So there, if you want to look at your body positioning of that scrum, wasn't too bad, but you could still get perhaps a little bit more side on, so it opens up that outside shoulder towards that far side of the paddock, which then allows you to readily see the outside backs. So I don't know if I got that quick enough. This time you ran down the middle of the line out. You're still running, flipped around, and he threw in. It's not doesn't create a great stable base for you. So one of the things you can do is just ask the thrower to hold until you indicate to them that they can throw in. That allows you to get it back into a position to where you want to be. You're then nice and stable, ready to watch everything, and then you indicate. So that last one wasn't bad. You were indicating, oh, look, there's another chocolate fish for Ian. So who's that signal for? Because a lot of the players can't see it, so even as a made-up signal, I don't think it's a very good one. So that was the one, oh, throwing arms up in the air again. It looks like, you just said, I've got no idea what went on there. Hello, Indos. yes. Sorry, do you wanted? I missed that bit. No, there won't be. Yes, in the back of the carport will be fine. Yes, it is. Okay, thanks, bye. Sorry for the poor camera work, had to take a phone call. So see there, you're only ever looking at the first 5/8. If you just alter your body orientation slightly, get that outside shoulder out, and you'll be able to easily see those that centre in the wing. So like many things, when you're developing your refereeing career, it's all about fine-tuning of little things that make you a better referee and take you to the next level, hopefully. Morning. Yeah, I'm out at Scots College watching a Hong Kong referee. Yeah. Yeah. Because of 2 acts of foul play. He saw an indication of foul play, and the TMO, that's what he said. Hit anybody? No. Correct. He's a young guy, he's only 17. He's going okay. Owes me about 5 chocolate fish so far, but that's okay. Gale Heights, Ian Dallas. You're free? Okay. No, I appreciate that. Yeah, I understand.
Good work, Scots. Keep going, fellas. Come on.
Get out of this.
Keep your shape.
Yes. Okay. So I'll, the information I've got so far has gone through to the insurer. I'll be in the office in about an hour, so I'll ring them and see where things are at, and then I'll come back to you. Are you free this afternoon? Okay, not a problem. I will text you first and just see if you're free, and then we can. I'll bring you up to date with anything I get from the insurer. Not a problem at all. I'll sort that out for you. Yeah. Okay. Rightio. Bye-bye. So a lot of wide-angled far views on the camera there, Owen, because I've been once again on the phone. So apologies. So definitely for your next game, we're going to work on that body orientation and getting that shoulder that was should have been pointing right at me and right at the camera. We want to get that out and around, so opening up that outside vision.
Go, Scots.
So there was a little bit more of a slower delivery from a two-handed take, but with your body orientation again, you were not looking at the blue back line, and you could not control them if you'd wanted to because of the two-handed take.
Go, go!
So there was a situation where you could have used your sprinting ability and got a little bit more closer to being able to make a clear decision. If you had been sprinting down the middle of the paddock heading for between the posts, you could have looked across and got an angle on whether that was before or over the dead ball line. So I don't know how clear I got to that non-try situation there, Owen, but I actually think from here and looking down on the lens of the camera, it actually looked like he got that ball down before the dead ball line. Another thing for you to look at when you're looking at the video then, Owen, is just look at your speed off the mark and getting that first 10, 15, 20 metres. If you sprint, then you can cruise and it all gets very easy, but you've got to sprint those first 5, 10, 15, 20 metres. I was the ball boy there, Owen, when we got the ball from over the bank, hence the delay in the camera once again. Making a lot of excuses here about my camera work, aren't I? So once again there, you just, in my mind, you just jogged up for the kick instead of sprinting, and the blue player ended up winning it. So that's what we talk about when maybe we say you need a bit more urgency, and it's getting to where the ball is getting closer so you can make good decisions. Oh, I might have missed that, but I think you owe me another chocolate fish there. So that seems a bit strange. You just threw your arms up in the air just before that, which I'm assuming means everything's good for you, but now you'd penalise them. So, interesting. Nice, clear secondary signals, so that's good, well done. And you got a good penalty whistle as well, so well done there as your basics for your refereeing. So good positioning, being in goal there, that's all good. And from that good positioning, you're in a good position to determine that it was a try, so well done. So there, you definitely stuck your out for advantage for that deliberate knock-on, but apart from anybody who could actually see your signal, there was no communication to the players at all, particularly at club rugby and definitely at college rugby. I think you need to be communicating to players so they know what's going on and they know that you've got the game under control. Managers and coaches and spectators can also hear that communication, so it only has to be short and sharp, to the point, but people know what's going on because not everyone can see your signal. There's another chocolate fish, I think. I'm not quite sure what that signal was for or why. It was the one where you're throwing both arms out to the side. So it could have been that you were trying to point at both back lines to stay on side, I don't know. So see how you've just been jogging back and now you're in front of play. If you'd been sprinting back and then cruised, you're in a much better position to make good decisions.
Chips.